So today we're going to be looking at wingers. We are pretty much done in Team of the Season. I don't know if you're getting fatigue in this game or just in general. It feels like it's a bit of a slog. I need something new. And to be honest, once you get to the end of the Team of the Season, it always feels the same. Shapeshifters is right around the corner. It's a promo I personally always love. It just brings something different. So let's jump straight into the wingers, see what we've got, and let's get on with our day. Make sure you do like and subscribe whilst we're there. So let's get into, in fact, I don't know why I've gone on that screen. Let's go back here. Let's have a look for a moment. We've got top meta, very usable, evo, and miss. Now, we are going to see quite a few of kind of like more of your top end players. And to be honest, there's a few now that are probably more in the bin, more so than anything. There's going to be a few evos. For instance, if we are looking at the Vinny saga at the moment, we have got 3 different versions of him, which would be considerable if we go with all of the versions of Vinny, because he has got some absolutely standard and also incredible cards as we do go on. So if we were to look at Vinny on the other screen, now it's time to actually move. Boop! 610,000 for his Team of the Season. I don't know how many times you played this game or how many years you played this game. I don't think I've seen a Team of the Season Vinny in the matter of 2 weeks go under a mil that quickly. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel like he could have been better in comparison to what we have already got, and I think that is the big problem. The list of players, like literally the winger list that we've got, and these are really your more top end sort of cards. These are not necessarily going to the bottom barrel of a Pires, a Lotta, anybody of that sort of nature. Like, you're not looking at somebody like a Lundberg in this. There's all them names that are still not available. These are considered at least semi-viable at some point. So let's kind of go through the video. So you've got his Team of the Season. I still think it's very good regardless of price. Price is price. It just is what it is. Stats don't lie. We obviously have got the Team of the Year that is still coming in at 1.8. He is slightly better than the 96, but realistically, you're getting the same level of card as much. To be honest, you can kind of debate whether you prefer the finesse or the low driven. Both insanely effective. We then have the 93s. Now, these are both coming in just shy of what the 96 is, which does tell you a lot. Now, obviously, with both of these, I would suggest the 93 striker if you have got him, because he has got the finesse and the trivela, whereas we're trying to get away from the trickster if we can. So both are evo availability. Same with the 91. He's got the rapid, so you'd be looking at a finesse, a low driven, a trivela, something along them lines, more so for that one. So realistically for me, the Vinny saga is always going to be somewhere around about here. I'd definitely be looking at these as evos, and then you've kind of got your top meta in Vinny, because it's Vinny. Let's be real now. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics, and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Then we kind of look through a few of the others. Like, you look at someone like a Diaby. He would be a kind of someone I would say he's kind of more of your, to be honest, I'd say a cheap beast, but he's still coming in at 420 when we do reveal that Vinny is at 600. He's kind of one of them cards that has come in just purely on the basis of all of these. The inform was incredible. To be honest, his 83 was absolutely magnificent. The quick step on him was fantastic, and it's led his way all the way up here. So I'd definitely put him into more of your very usable. Would I go into the top meta with him? I just don't think he's got that level, in my opinion. And it's kind of the same when we do look at someone like an Anthony. In terms of what he's bringing, yes, he's a Team of the Season. Yes, he's got some stats, but would I really say he's going to be the best player on the pitch? It goes down to, at this point, body type, it goes down to run type, his dribbling animations, it goes down to the 5-5 if he's got it or not. There's so much, and to be honest, he's got better playstyle pluses than a lot of players, so I would give him some benefit of the doubt in this. I'd put him at a very low, very usable, but then when we look at somebody like Insigne, for instance, a player that, to be honest, a few years ago would have been absolutely on the top end of this, he's now coming in He's got the finesse, he's got the rapid, he's got the press proven, but realistically he's still always seen as just a little bit off the mark in my opinion. Then we obviously have got the likes of Diallo. We've also got the Arsenal ladies in this, which a lot of them can play left wing as well. I don't know if anybody knows this, but we've got a left wing, right wing in Mead. We then have, so we've got 2, we've then got 3, we've then got 4 from the centre back. I mean, okay. Then obviously you've got another one on the bench. You've obviously got Kelly and you've also got Ford. And I think that's it. So you got like 6 or 7 wingers all going in here. And it's mainly because the centre-back can go there. Obviously, I haven't put her in because you're not putting a centre-back as winger. Let's be real. Now, obviously, we do add all of these ladies in. I've got a few of them. A couple of them are just not really worth mentioning, to be honest, in terms of putting them against the numbers. They're not really going to hold up too much. But we have got a couple. I think Kelly's going to be at the bottom here. We've got Mead. I think Mead and Kelly would be the 2 that I would say are the most vital to this list. And to be honest, then you've got Reeton as well if we do add her in later on. When we look at the prices of all of them, obviously they're going to come in a little bit cheaper. We've got a lot of players. This is kind of now the biggest problem we've got with these winners. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic to have this level of team, because if you are an Arsenal ladies team kind of player, if you love Spurs, if you love Chelsea, of PSG, you have got a whole team that you could have 2 to 3, maybe even 4 days with some of them to try and pack as many as possible and then try and get the rest of them. It's absolutely warranted that this is possibly going to break the market, but also would be absolutely phenomenal for your team. If Man U did beat Spurs in that match, you best believe I wouldn't have stopped talking about it just yet. But having a look at Douay just in general, I think you're playing 4.5 mil for the dynamic in itself, just in general. That is one of the coldest dynamics we've seen so far this year. Incredible. So you've got a lot of players kind of coming in at that very high level. Some of them with playstyle pluses that are better than others, which is fair enough. Like we look at Mead, finesse, incisive, technical, it works. Finesse, rapid, and you've also got the press proven. We then go further down to Kelly, finesse, rapid, pinged. Quick step, technical, low driven. They're decent. They're not bad cards to say the least. When we look at all of them together, I'd actually put them as, again with Anthony, in kind of like your lower end, very usable because of the stats they've got. They are all very, very good. Good play style pluses. Maybe don't have the quadruple just yet, but 5-star, 5-star, very good stats. They, yes, may be a little bit lower than kind of some of your top end cards. That's fair enough. We're not saying these are world beaters. They're not Douay in that sort of aspect, because even there's not even enough Douays to go around. Like we look at Sancho, he'd probably be about the same, to be honest. And to be honest, rapid, technical, and then a bit of low driven, it's a very standard card for him. So when we do compare him to the likes of Ed Douay, it's fair enough that he's just not going to compete. Douay is an absolute unbelievable card. Like he's one of the top in the game at this point, with obviously the stats. Does need a finesse. I think that would really top this card off. The only problem is, and I know we are going to get the season pass tomorrow, the brand new one. We don't know. Well, I can't remember if we've seen it or not. If we get another finesse shot plus evolution from it, I don't know if it's max 96. I feel like I've read it. Could it be max 97 and you could give it to Douay? Would be the option. Would be incredible. But we are looking to get into 5 playstyle pluses, which they didn't do last year, so I'm very interested to see where that goes anyway. It's another level up on the game, so it's going to be fantastic to see where this game can go after Team of the Season, because I think we're done. Like, we're done realistically, aren't we? When you look at kind of the rest of the teams, like if we go for the UCL winners, you're obviously looking at the likes of a Dembele, and to be honest with him, again, a solid card. I mean, he's going to be up there with the best of them. Same as Barcola in terms of stats. They're put on a pedestal, and of course they are. Now, both of them do have different versions as well. Barcola has his 96 again, with the finesse, the press proven, and the quick step. I would personally actually prefer it, but he also has the 5-star, 5-star in this version, which I personally prefer in itself, because it is obviously going to be the weak foot. I think that has a bigger impact than just having the press proven, I'd say. So realistically, you're trading a weak foot upgrade for a press proven over technical. I'm fine with that. I would definitely go into that sort of category. With Dembele, because he was such an icon in the team of the season. Obviously, the 97 is going to come in with the quadruple. We obviously have got the difference that are still incredible for both of them. So personally, for me, if I was looking at these two specifically, we'll obviously throw these in here. We then have Barcola with both of his versions. So personally for me, the way I would kind of have these, I'd have Dembele, and I would also have this Barcola as well as this Dembele here, and I'd have this Barcola in the very much top end of the very usable. But I do think with the 5/5 added, that's going to really kind of take this card to the next level. Dembele's always been a 5/5. Then we also have a... to be honest, they really did a dirty here, to be honest. They obviously have got Hansen as, to be honest, one of the... I'm saying that a lot, aren't I? As one of the better wingers in the game, full stop, for in general. Like, women alone, incredible card. Team of the Year went off as good as you expect. She has the triple play style plus, which we was only on a single at that point. Rapid, fine. Trickster, we get over it. And a Travella, which at that point was very, very meta. That's obviously been fixed, so we now need the finesse for it. And then we got, obviously, this 96. I don't know, what can she go in? Inside forward. But then we obviously got the 96. And to be honest, like, as much as she's a fantastic card, rapid, low driven, pinged past, like, I mean, she should be most definitely in the quadruple playstyle plus. At the very minimum, the top end of playstyle plus is at literally the minimum. Go in for the low driven and the finesse. Throw a quick step instead. If you go in for difference, I think trying to one-up the 97 would have been much better. And I feel like what they've done with a lot of these kind of top end cards, especially ones where the playstyle pluses, the stats, the everything upgrade doesn't really match. They're just waiting for another upgrade. We more than likely see a centre mid Hansen, a left back Hansen, a striker Hansen in shapeshifters, and then we see like an Mbappe right back. Like that would actually be really sick. I mean, you're not going to use him because he's too good as a striker, but in general, that's what shapeshifter can bring. We saw the Milinkovic Savic, we saw Cech up front, we've seen Ramos as a striker, Ibrahimovic and Lukaku as a partnership centre back. It's the whole point of getting silly with the game, and that's what I like. But Hansen, to be honest, I do think was kind of cheated out of a card, to be honest, here. She really didn't get that much of an upgrade. Like, I mean, she definitely puts herself into kind of like a very average, very usable. Like, I still like the 97 very, very much, but the 96 here is very bog standard, and that is kind of the shame. We then also have got the likes of Mahrez. I quite like him, but I'd put him in the category of like your Insigne. I don't think he warrants what his winger status has. I like the stats. I think he's very good at it, but he's not necessarily beating quite a lot of these cards, in my opinion, anyway. I do think the SBC is kind of just, it's there, really. You've just thrown in another name more so than anything. We then kind of we'll go down a little bit. We've got the likes of Salah, we've got the likes of Messi, of Yamal that we can go through. If we look at Salah first, he obviously has got a few cards. We're mainly featuring the two kind of main important ones. To be honest, you could write them quite easily, to be fair. He is one of the best wingers in the game, especially in the Prem, most definitely. 1.8 mil, which again is... it's reasonable. It may not be like completely obtainable for everybody, but it's reasonable to say the least. You think that some cards were 5 to 6 mil for a considerable amount of time. Like, I don't know how far can we go back? Can we go FIFA 23? Just to see what level a team of the season went with. So if we go with players and then you go over to 23, say, we look at their... we've got a team of the season. I don't even know which ones we got. So say if we look at somebody like, if we go for, these are weird dynamics here now. So say we go for Salah and himself, because he was most definitely still very good. Granted, no play styles, I understand. I wonder if we have the market. So he came out on May 5th. And literally until, I mean, to be honest, it's probably about right. June is 1.7, so he's a little bit more expensive. But I wonder then, does that correlate? Is it just... sometimes you forget about it, don't you? So you do kind of think. So if I go for FIFA this, he obviously got a team of the season last year as well. Finesse, okay, yeah, still very good. With the play styles, again, are we looking at 1 point... I mean, I'll eat my words where they land, to be honest. We got a little bit more expensive. Then clearly there was something in June. We're already past June now, but clearly there was something that dropped the price here. I don't know what it was, but 500k is criminal. And then literally So it kind of was that we finished the game there pretty much because he is absolutely on the floor. But in general, we know Salah is one of the better players in the game. Even with the team of the year, he's always going to be one of your more established cards. Diallo, I'd probably be looking at the bottom feeder now. Maybe you could get an Evo for him. I think, to be honest, they're probably going to go with a footies. You got to think with these teams in footies and in shapeshifters, Diallo's going to be a great one for a fullback or a CDM or something. Maybe even a kind of a striker version of him. You got to think, when you look at Man U realistically, you got to think who sells packs in terms of who gets people interested for their teams. You do it across the board for Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barca. Some teams can obviously have more. Man U's on a very, very low point. So more than likely they put more into packs or more into at least promos because we've not got many in the team of the season in anything else. So they're going to always be there. Diallo's going to be one that could be upgraded at that point. I think Martinelli would definitely drop his case, to be honest. Again, another one that could get there. Arsenal not quite beaten out on Liverpool. You've obviously got second in the Premiership, so they do offer some sort of credibility for that. So they will be featured quite a lot. But when we look at the Chelseas, the Spurs, they don't really need the upgrade for this next promo. So it will be interesting to see, do we get any of them? Do we see any PSG, any Chelsea, any Spurs, any Arsenal ladies? Because they've just had a monstrous upgrade for all of their players. So just an interesting point to go with. Pulisic would be kind of in your usable category, in my opinion. Would then be looking at kind of your Ababos and also your Gervinhos. They kind of came in and went out as quick as you'd expect. I thought they'd actually be in the kind of rotation for a little bit of time, but to be honest, they were standard. I mean, they're double play style plus now, that you'd be looking for triple, so maybe they give you a little bit more once they allow you to put them into evolutions, but realistically, it's very, very standard from both of them. Like, you got your right mid inside forward, but no 93 winger evolutions yet. They're nice cards. I'd probably say at some point they will be waiting on them evos, but that's gonna really be about it for them. And then kind of you've got also a few of the icons, so let's kind of go through a lot of them. Like obviously Ribery, one of the main talking points from this season. We then have Garrincha, we have Jarzinho, we have Rivaldo, a bit of Georgie Best, Ronaldinho, and our boy Bale. So they're going to be kind of your top end sort of players. So if we kind of look at Ribery first, as he is kind of the highlight at this point, I believe, he wasn't premium. Oh, he was premium. So you had to unlock the premium to get him. I feel like a lot of people probably did that, especially with the coins that you could make from it. It made sense. Ribery's a solid card, to say the least. I mean, he's got the playstyle plus you need. Really, two of them are the main ones, more so than anything. The finesse and the quick step is good enough. I'm not too fussed about the relentless or technical, but in terms of a card upgrade, I think he's up there. I really do. He's definitely been featured quite a lot. Now, I would go top meta, but I'd go at a very low end. Like he's kind of on the brink of going into the very usable once we catch up with the quadruples, because I think the only reason why he's up there at this point, the 5-5, the stats upgrade, and he's got the quadruple, but not a crazy one, if you know what I mean. Like where we look at the likes of Dembele, it's a solid amount of playstyle pluses. It's good playstyle pluses, whereas Ribery is like, two of them are great. I don't like technical, and relentless really doesn't make that much of a difference in my eyes. So you've kind of already got him on the ropes there. They obviously then got the likes of Garrincha, who most definitely has fallen down at this point. We're waiting for upgrades. We've had 6 to 7 weeks of no icons, no heroes. So it has been kind of just your best icons are there and the rest just fall in line. Garrincha, realistically with a rapid and technical, I mean, he could definitely do with the upgrade. He's not going to be evoed anytime soon, so you're kind of holding out for him, really. He's going to be a miss, in my opinion. We then have, obviously, Rivaldo coming in with the technical, the rapid, the ping and pass. At this point, I would probably miss out on him as well. I need a finesse. I need something more. Jarzinho coming in with the immortal, so something a little bit more recent. We obviously have him with a rapid, with a technical, and with a trickster. Now, the problem with him is he's got other versions that can be put into evolutions to give him better playstyle pluses. So again, I personally would miss out on him. I think when we look at the 91 and you look at the rapid, you can obviously chuck him into a few of these upgrades and get yourselves even a low driven, a quick step and finesse like that. That is going to be so much better than the 93 in terms of what playstyle plus he has. So the 93, in my opinion, is probably dead and buried. Georgie Best, another one that's going to be most definitely up there, but the technical incisive has kind of really killed him off to get that finesse. I need the finesse in there, so we're going to have to wait for the upgrade to get the quick step, the incisive, the technical, and the finesse. At that point, is it too late? I think you're going to get another version of him. The only two that I think really hold face at this point, and it's only because of how they make the cards, is a Ronaldinho. His stats in the game in terms of his animation is always what drives him to that next level. Now, do I think he's the best version of himself? No, I think you can get better for him. Now, he's not in any evolutions, but he will be soon. This 93 will pay off eventually, and if you can get a quadruple playstyle plus with it, you put a quick step, a low driven, a finesse, as well as the trickster, that tenfolds that card in my opinion. So there is room for him in general, and I do think one of the better ones alongside Ribery is going to be Bale. He is unbelievable. He is so good in the game. We knew as soon as he was announced he would be one of the topper icons, and he is going to consistently be there in my opinion. So I personally would go Ronaldinho like Ribery in the very low end. I think he's very much close to going in here. The price is purely based on how difficult he was to pack. And to be honest with these, unless you can get the evos of the other versions, I don't think they're worth doing in my opinion. I'm going to be really brutal with them. Icons need the upgrade, and they will definitely get that during Shapeshifters. Which then I want to kind of transition to some of the better players. Less negativity. I want to go with these three because these three wingers, if you've used any of them, truly know how good they are. Messi is an old talent. We know Messi. We know his body type inside and out. We know how he plays. Messi in general is always been one of the most fantastic players that you can play with on the game because of his size, because of his dribbling ability, and just in general, they always give him a good card. Same as CR7, it'll be the same as Yamal in the future. It's always the same as Mbappe. It's like why Virgil as a gold centre-back can go till team of the season quite comfortably, to be honest. They just know how to make a card like this work. And again, 6.7 mil, outrageous. I would love to get a full team of CR7, Messi, Yamal, Doué, all of them. There is so many talented players in these wingers that it is just very difficult to kind of go with at this point. Messi's obviously going to put himself as one of the better wingers in this game comfortably. One of the better looking, and most definitely one on the mind at this point. Yamal is absolutely killing it. I genuinely, from watching him in the Euros, you thought, okay, well, he's what, 16, 17, he's doing incredible. Could it be a tournament high? All season long, he is just not giving up. A phenomenal talent, and hopefully he does continue. Put in the talent to say that, like they did with the PSG, and say Doué and PSG are going to be a team to be reckoned with for the next 15 years. I'm like, 15 years is a long time. Let him have his season. Let him have 2 seasons. See where he goes from there. Do not put the pressure that he is going to put up numbers better than Ronaldo and Messi before he's even hit 19. Like before he's even hit 20. Just hold on with him. But in terms of a card, phenomenal talent. Absolutely brilliant. You've got everything you need. Passing, shooting, pace, dribbling, even giving him a bit of physicality. The only thing he misses, which I think they've done on purpose again, is no 5-5, just so they can upgrade that in a shapeshifter or in a footies later on down the line. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter too much for him because he is exceptional, as we know. Rafinha, another one at 1.8, absolutely stunning card. Again, very good for what he actually has kind of achieved this year. It's just an absolute redemption arc again for him. And the good thing with him is he's got 1.8 mil here. And obviously we're going to look at both of these being in the toppest of talents you've got. But we also did get the 90 upgrade from him for 430. Now, the big thing for this is he can get an Evo now, so you could make him into a 94. Whether you've got the right play styles here, I don't know. I'd probably wait off until you could at least get a finesse or even go finesse and incisive or something just to be able to give him that kind of edge. But if you're not wanting to pay the 1.8 and wanting to upgrade him with the 90 that you might have already finished, he could be well worth a look in at the minimum for obviously a evolution at some point. Now, if we obviously finish off some of these UCL winners, we have got Madueke, we have got Neto, Johnson, and we've also got Sonny Baby and Sancho. These are going to be all UCL, UEL, and is it UCEL or something like that? They are the winners of the Europa and obviously the conference. Now, obviously, Son is always going to be put into a category of his own. Whether you play him as a striker or a winger, he's absolutely talented in both. Johnson actually come in really, really well, I must admit. The finesse, rapid, and low-driven partnership combination is decent, as we know. Finesse is broken as anything, it always will be. And even low-driven is a very effective shot type. I'd even go as far to say is second most effective. I like the Trivela, but you've got to get in the right position. And power shot is, again, another one that is just based on position more so than anything. Which then we do have a look at the UECL, the obvious Conference League, which is not what I clicked. I didn't think I did, but we have got it here. There we go. We've obviously got Sancho coming in. I personally put Palmer as a cam, so it's why he's not personally in this. But Sancho as a left mid, coming in with a technical, rapid, and low driven. I personally would say it's one of the lowest. I really don't like him as a card. He's very much like the Arsenal ladies. It's because he's been upgraded a considerable amount, he kind of has to put himself in a solid category, same as Madueke, but he's not at that level of the top in my opinion. Like, I do think if I was looking at them, you obviously got Pedro Neto as well, we'll have a look at. I'd go with Johnson as kind of more of your kind of topper end as such, a bit more above there. Son obviously puts himself into a better category in my opinion. Neto is another one that really comes in with the stats because of that quick step. Now, quick step for me has always been more favoured than the likes of obviously the rapid, but he's obviously got the same as quite a few of them. But when we do look at the Son, Neto falls in pretty well, and I'd say he kind of comes in kind of like your Barcola. He has got the 5-5, which is nice, but I'd say he's just outside the top meta, maybe encroaching in, but we'll see where the rest of these players go, because we still have got the likes of Rashford as well, another insane winger that will get another upgrade at some point. He's now at 650. He definitely needs some sort of playstyle plus add-in, if it's a rapid, if it's a quick step, just to give him that edge. But he again would put himself in a very top end where you're almost like he's kind of good enough to be both. And then, to be honest, when you do look at a lot of these cards, like we see a lot of the usable, like we look at someone like a Malin, he's obviously going to be very much like Diaby, but just a bit watered down. You've got the likes of Nane, would be an Evo more so than anything. Aldasari, I think you've got quite a few of the kind of higher minor league wingers at 96, 95, 94 that are very good for their respective cards. Maybe not against a Salah or a Dembele, but when you do put them against kind of like your low end, like your Orsolini, they do combat each other very well. I think you look at the likes of Murphy. For me, he was just too expensive in himself. I just don't think he has the stats, in my opinion. I'd even go the same as kind of Hazard at this point. He's a solid card, but you've got to wait for a new upgrade, because if you're looking at a quadruple playstyle plus, it makes it a little bit easier for him. But when we look at trying to find a triple, I need the finesse on a 94. That ain't going to happen. The 91 has got the technical trickster. There's no quick step. There's no finesse there. We've got then the technical on obviously the 90. It's an ability that we can get something like that. But again, it all depends on what playstyle pluses come first. When we do look at the captain, it's quick step and obviously trickster. So it's kind of a bit of a catch-22 there. You even look at the base version. And again, we're kind of looking at him with the rapid quick step or the trickster quick step. And it's just not what you need. So he's usable in an aspect, but again, he's kind of just coming in at like, we need another upgrade for him. I would kind of put him as either a very, I'd probably go a very high-end usable for him, because I do think there's better cards out there, but he needs the upgrade as well. He needs to go up one at the very minimum, because we got cards for absolute days up here. Chawinga, so we got both of them. Left wing, 97 versus 96. Both of them coming in with some lovely stats. We'll go with obviously the NWSL first. Quadruple. Love the quadruple playstyle plus. Power shot, it'll do. Incisive, okay. Quick step and low driven. It's absolutely fine. 5-star, 4-star, which is a bit unfortunate. We kind of mixed with it. And stats-wise, as good as you kind of imagine. Very pacey, good shooting, just the standard. We then have the Ligue 1. one which, to be honest, a little bit lower. I'd possibly go for more of a super sub with her. I think I'd be looking at the quadruple playstyle plus as a very low end, very usable, and then I'd go super sub level for her. We have got the likes of Lauren James that is in my team currently. I could possibly get rid of her now. I think, personally for me, because I've packed her as a team of the year, I'm kind of holding on as much as possible. Now, when we do look at both of them in Lauren James and also Reeton, they're solid cards. Like, I mean, she's most definitely past her level now, really. I do think stats-wise are very, very good, but Playstyle Pluses, they are better. Like, of course there is. It is just purely down to, I packed her, I don't want to see her go. I love the team of the year. So, realistically, we are going to go in usable still, but most definitely will kind of come down. Ginola, I would go possibly into the very usable as well with him, to be honest. I wasn't necessarily too thrilled for the card, but I do think he's very good at what he does. But because we're so used to looking at a striker variant of him, I'd possibly just even look at the 90 as almost like a plain canvas that you can obviously go ahead and whack a hero in a half shell on him, and that makes a 10 times better card in my opinion. So that would be kind of like your more top meta more so than anything, whereas the 94 would just be okay at best. We then obviously have got Felix. I mean, I'd be looking at an Evo for him at this point. When you've got him at 92, you could look at a nice quadruple or at least a triple at the minimum. Same with Saka, I'd say. I really think that card is a disgrace for him. Like, genuinely, I know he's been injured and I get it. I get that he's not necessarily been the top end Saka, but he's just never had a good card. Like, he's genuinely, unless it's kind of going to the end of the game. We obviously saw the 98 last year, but that was right at the end. The 95 was even then still just nothing. We got another team of the season at a 93. That was the last card he got. Nothing. 91 the year before, and I get it's not, if we look back 3 years, he's not Saka what he is now, but even now, he's got a 93 that I'm thinking, why is he not higher? At the very minimum, 94, 95. I get that you don't want everybody there, but surely he's put in a shift to get a better card than this, because if it's not an Evo, it's an absolute miss, unfortunately. So it's kind of one of them. Borgia, I'd go into kind of more of your usable. I think, again, a great minor league if you are looking championship level. Great left mid. Finally, an upgrade that you could kind of get behind. We then also have the Portuguese at SBC. He's standard more so than anything. We then see Elise coming in with a beautiful card. Honestly, I've never seen a card linked in so many Evos in my life other than that 89 Thunderstruck. So hopefully they kind of stop now. We've got the lovely 96. Solid card. Most definitely when he first came out was more into the topper category, but I'd say he's equaled himself out a little bit. Rodman would do the same. We obviously got the other Portuguese player going in there. Leao. Now, he's an interesting one because obviously he didn't get a team of the season. He's still there with a FUT birthday. I mean, in terms of a player, still phenomenal. Still got the 5-5. Quick step into the Trickster. Is not going to get an Evo anytime soon because he's 94. Whether we see a Finesse Shot Plus come in with the Season Pass this week could be an interesting one to make the card better. More than likely we'll see a striker version of him or some sort of variant in Shapeshifter because he's not had a team of the season. It makes sense that he is going to be one of the first on that list. So you could kind of get behind him. I think even price variants, I would put him in a very usable at the minimum because we know when he gets that jump, he's most definitely up there with the best of them. Salma at this point, I'd probably miss out on. Nico, I'd go usable. I mean, it was a nice upgraded card, but realistically, it was kind of just there as another upgrade you could try and go for. Rodrigo, 785, obviously with the 95. He did have the 91 many moons ago, which if you've still got it, fair play. You could definitely evo that at some point. But we have got the 785 with the quick step and the finesse. Great ability, great level to get that evo on him at some point soon. Whether it is going to be 95s anytime soon, but most definitely should put a shift in. And to be honest, one of the big names in the wingers at the moment, Kvaratskhelia. Lovely 96 with his fantasy, but then also a lovely 96 with his UCL. Now, the better version, depending on where you look at it, you've got the rapid incisive finesse with the 5-5 versus the finesse trickster pinged pass with the 5-5. Now, personally for me, you're going to go with the UCL. I don't think there's much to argue there, to be honest. I think if you go into roles, maybe you could find something like inside forward is going to be what you want. He's got the plus on both. I'm assuming he's got the plus on everything. Yeah, plus. Easy. So For me personally, I do think that the Playstyle Pluses do have a massive role in this. I'd possibly even go as far to say, like Barcola, without the Playstyle Pluses being that slight bit better, I would be looking at the two versions in two different categories. Now, that is going to be everybody. Hopefully you did enjoy this. If I missed anybody, leave a comment of their name and I'll give them the rank. I'll put them in the ascending order. And hopefully have a good day. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace!